Nicki Minaj, do you really think you have a chance against us, Mrs. Cowgirl? Well, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, it's the Going Off podcast with the Rap Critic of you.
Ho, 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 I've got a sequel that kind of ignores the first sequel, as we've realized.
Indeed. Oh, didn't you hear the album? She's got like the brother of the first album's villain is on this one. Don't you remember?
Wait, what?
He's coming to get revenge or something. Isn't that how the sequel goes?
Oh, that's right. I forgot we were talking about Die Hard. You're gonna make me die hard like my kid Bruce Willis. Bring it back to Nicki.
Indeed.
So we've got 2 albums this week, and boy oh boy, we were eating pretty good. We got Nicki Minaj, Pink Friday 2, or Pink Friday 3, whatever. It's like
2.5.
We're starting the episode off with Ethel Cain and Preacher's Daughter, and before we get into the album at all, I'm going to have a text-to-speech say the exact time, but if you don't want to listen to this album review, and you just want to skip to the Nicki album, skip to
52 minutes, 22 seconds.
Because I want to cover everything we can here for the sake of the off-goers. I want to hit all the possible trigger warnings for this one. So we got some child abuse, we got sexual abuse, we got Jesus. Well, we're gonna be spoiling the album. So also, if you just don't want to know how this album turns out and you want to listen to it for yourself, because I do recommend listening to this album and not knowing what the album is it's an experience I wish I could have again. Because since I've listened to this album 3 times, and quite frankly, I'm obsessed with it. And I want people to be able to experience this album without knowing the twists and turns. So I'm just going to go ahead and say right now that this is a 5.
I got 5 on it.
Because I want people to know without having to listen to the whole review. What did you end up getting?
5 for me too. Yeah, let's just say.
This is you need to hear this album, but I will say, because this is a PSA from your old pal Muse here. Don't make the same mistake I did. I was, admittedly, in a very depressed headspace a couple days ago when I decided, hey, I'm gonna throw on the Ethel Cain album. And, okay. I've said this before, but for different contexts and different albums, where I'll be listening to an album and I'll be taking notes, and Nebula will be walking past me, and they'll see the expression on my face, and they'll be like, everything okay? Normally, I take the headphones off and I'm like, I'm listening to the most dog shit, most infuriating, like, I'm like, you need to hear this. I can't read this. You need to hear how bad this is. I'm scrubbing it back. I'm playing a sample. I'm like, can you believe it? That's what they got me listening to this week. I'm so mad.
Right.
It's so bad. I was shell-shocked by this fucking album, and it emotionally fucking wrecked me. And as much as I want to recommend that experience to people, it does come with the warning of, like, please be in the right headspace.
Yeah.
It's gonna go some really dark places, so, just be prepared for that. But like I said, if you want to listen to the Nicki album, you know the time to skip to, but we're going to get into this album now. A friend of yours requested this. Who requested this?
That's right. Ivan Pottersmith, thank you so much for your request, homeboy. And if you want to make a request, head on over to Ko-fi.com/goinoff and get with it and act like you want it and all that fun, sexy stuff.
I know I asked this about Dr. Goatman, but is Ivan okay? Is
No, he just likes
he
has
maintaining?
he has a specific aesthetic for, you know,
Okay.
dark brooding chicks and, you know.
okay.
I'm calling him out because he was the one. I remember he was
shit.
the one who put me on to Lord back in the day. He was the one that was like, "Oh, you should check out this Lord chick." And then all of a sudden, when everyone was talking about Lord, I was like, "Yo, he told me about that chick." Like it was, you know what I mean? So I'm like, "Okay, I got your number."
So,
you know, alto chicks with that are really emotional.
oh yeah.
But we're rocking with it though, cause god damn it,
Oh my god, yeah.
when it hits, it fucking hits.
This is one of my favorite albums I've ever heard. And I've said this on the podcast a few times, and I love when I'm able to say that when it's a request, because I say this with sincerity. Y'all turn us on to some really good stuff. The Normal album by Will Woods.
Oh man, oh man, oh man.
That I still will listen to that album the whole way through sometimes. Like, I will throw that up.
Iconic.
That album is so fucking good. And then this, Preacher's Daughter by Ethel Cain. Oh, okay. So for background, because I think it's important.
Okay.
Ethel Cain is a stage name and also the, like, self-insert character for these albums, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah, they seem to have a theme with the album covers. Oh, we didn't talk about. Oh shit, well, I'm kind of giving away. But when you look at the other Pink, I'm sorry. Now that I'm thinking about album covers, the Pink Friday album cover. What the fuck is up with that? What is happening there?
I don't know. She's like on a futuristic subway or some shit.
But it's like in the sky. Like what?
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna have such a fun time editing the thumbnail to this podcast, putting together the super futuristic, happy-go-lucky imagery of the Pink Friday album, and this super scary, like, morose cover of the Ethel Cain album.
This fucking gummo-looking album cover.
This really is the quintessential that dark goth house next to the pastel pink house.
We're literally doing it.
That's this episode. So, Ethel Cain was raised in a Southern Baptist to a father who was a preacher. I don't know. It's super imperative to the album's narrative, but Ethel Cain, the singer, and the character on the album are both trans. I think it made the experience different for me that it might have an unnamed bald music reviewer who it might not have clicked with as much. There were certain aspects of the album that hit me in different ways than it might the average cis listener, but we'll hit on those as we go. The album starts, which again, this album. Not only is this y'all need to hear this album, but y'all need to hear this album more than once. Because if you listen to it once, you get that shock of what the album is. But if you listen to it again, knowing how the album goes, knowing what to look out for, other things on the album earlier in the album are more important than you thought they were.
Oh, definitely.
It starts right away with Family Tree, the intro. Which starts with who I thought, I guess, was this father figure preacher. But I'm guessing, okay, well, god damn it, do we just spoil the album right now? Because, well, yeah, I guess we kind of have to, huh? To get the experience of the album, y'all just have to listen to it. So, this is just us going to be talking about the album, so we're going to end up spoiling it.
Yeah,
so,
you should have already listened to it by now. What's wrong with you?
What ends up happening here is Ethel Cain is abused by her father, runs away from home, gets picked up by a seemingly innocuous person, like, just driving cross country, picks her up. They kind of start to fall in love with each other, and he ends up killing her and eating her body. So, With that said, going back to track 1.
Okay, so that last sentence, I didn't catch that part.
Oh, we're gonna have fun when we get to strangers.
Because like everything you said up to this point, you remember when we were talking about, whoever's album that was, where it's like Coheed and Cambria, where you have to read a comic book and watch a movie and watch a TV show.
Yeah, you need to know the characters and everything. Yeah.
This when you started describing that, where I was like, I've just listened to the album, but I was having that moment of like, wait, what actually happens plot-wise? And then as soon as you start describing it, I'm like, yeah, I remember that, and yeah, I remember that, and yeah, I remember that, because the album does a really good job of putting you in those moments,
It really is a 2-act play, because the first half of the album is so incredibly different than the second half, and I can't... Oh, it's why I love this album so much. It does so many good things. But anyway, the album starts out with this voice that you think is just a preacher. And I'm guessing that it's actually the voice of her abductor. Because you hear a preacher later, and I'm thinking that that's who that's supposed to be later, because it's very, like, foreboding and scary. But at the beginning here...
Have you seen the movies X and Pearl?
No, I haven't. I've heard about them though.
Because like the aesthetics of that movie is this album's vibes hardcore.
Oh no! Okay,
that's all I'll say. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll have to check him out. Maybe on my own peril. So, yes, his voice is going on, and this is the intro that gets brought back up later on the actual song "Family Tree." So there's lyrics on here that get brought up later, but. With the line, "And Christ forgive me these bones I'm hiding from no one successfully."
Oh.
I saw a couple different interpretations of that line, and I couldn't help relate but to one of the interpretations, which is about being trans and... I mean, it's been kind of shoved down our throats. Unfortunately, it's become a alt-right talking point now of the, in 1,000 years when people dig up your body and they see your bones, they're going to say that's a male skeleton and all that. And it's like, there's a lot of reasons why that's silly and bullshit and not even worth arguing. But that was my read of the lines as soon as I heard them before I even read the Genius annotations. That's what it sounded to me. The shame that can come with being trans and having to hide your body, and the "from no one successfully" is so like, that fucking hurts, man.
Right before I started listening to the album, I had just seen in the liner notes, oh yeah, the character is trans, and I was like, huh? And then the lyrics started, and I was like, oh. It was like, yeah. And then, but later on, remember the lyrics, like, is it right after that? I think there's only like 3 quick verses, isn't it? It's just like...
Yeah, it's really short.
Fucking cuts deep with every fucking word, though. Because the second part was like, Jesus can always reject his father, but he cannot escape his mother's blood. He'll scream and try to wash it off his fingers, but he'll never escape what he's made of. It's just like, whoa, what the fuck?
The fates already fucked me sideways, swinging by my neck from the family tree. He'll laugh and say, I raised you better than this, then leave me hanging so they can all laugh at me. Reading...
and the music behind it, too. Oh.
I said I wasn't going to do this. One thing Melon pointed out as something he didn't like about this album, specifically, was the musical choices on the album, and I don't understand how that could be a point of contention.
Again, I feel like I don't want it to be like, oh, they felt this way, but it's like, I remember, like, I listened to it, and I was like, oh, let me hear what he said, and then I remember going back and being like, it's one of those, I get what you mean, but it's so much more elevated that it's like, but really? You think this is the derivative? Because to me, like, what I've been hearing, basically, just to put this out there, what I've been hearing about this album is that it's Lana Del Rey, it's basically doing Lana Del Rey, and I remember listening and just being like, maybe on one or two tracks, like, it's kind of dipping into the sort of, like, you know, doing a more digital sound that sounds like it's going for a more direct, like, poppy sort of sensibility. But I feel like Lana Del Rey was always more, like, directly edgelord, like, California chick. And this is so specifically set in a Nebraska, you know, chick with a bit of a southern accent with a lilt to it. But we're really getting some fucking, like I said, Father John Misty level intricacy of the story. You know what I mean? I always felt like a Lana Del Rey was always kind of like, oh, you know, it's kind of like edgy lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, my cocaine heart and his, you know what I mean? It always just felt like,
look,
isn't that, you know, the Weekend level, like, shocking?
Oh.
But this feels like it's like, when it hits those levels of the, yeah, we're doing the depravity of what, you know, we're going to get to at certain lyrics where it's like, oh man, with that guy, there's certain lyric in here where it's like, you know, love is, I didn't know that love could be bad in the way that this person's looking at me and treating me. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, when that moment happens, it doesn't feel fucking cutesy Starboy, you know, Weekend, we're just doing it feels like, ooh, it feels like you're about to sit with that for a fucking second. You know what I mean? So it's like, there feels like there's so much more of a intensity that feels like this is the rated R, you know what I'm saying? Like, and actually by a, you know, director who knows what he's doing versus the, oh yeah, the Quentin Tarantino knockoff who's just knows that they're supposed to reference elements like cocaine and, you know, this type of shit, but they're not really giving you the fucking full punch of a story of what that would really entail in terms of what a person doing that would be going through and how that would unfold musically. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes. You mentioned Lana, and I did want to talk about this because I never fucked with Lana Del Rey. So, you know, the audience can do with that what they will, but I never really enjoyed her stuff. The direct comparison I kind of got was more of a Taylor Swift. And it helped with the album for me. Specifically, if you watch the video for American Teenager, we'll get to that one in a second. Ethel's real name is Hayden. Hayden, her mom was a cheerleader at this high school, and she got a very similar, if not the same uniform, I'm not sure, and filmed the music video at the high school that her mom was a cheerleader at. And it's very, like, handheld, like, nobody else is there, it's just the person filming and Hayden. And it made me think about, and a lot of this made me think about the picture that Taylor Swift paints with her songs of the, like, down home country, like, I love my family, I love my dad, right. I love
but
Jesus.
This is the real.
This is the real. Yes, that's
this
exactly
is the Father
it.
John Misty. I literally wrote. Actually, I wrote. This is Taylor Swift. It was written by Father John Misty. I literally had that.
100%. Like it's that gritty, dark realism. That other side of it. Like Taylor will sometimes hint in her older stuff to like darker things or like things not going well. I mean, like she's definitely fine with doing that now. But back in the day, I'm specifically talking about that what this album reminded me of. She kind of has this tone, the timbre of like an older, like old Taylor Swift, and it really did put my mindset of like the young, naive girl who's just struggling. I don't know.
I just thought about something. It's like I feel like Taylor Swift is writing from the perspective of how she wants to idealize what that childhood looks like, and I feel like she's writing like what that actually is.
Yeah, and one thing in particular I wanted to point out before we moved on to American Teenager was the line about then they'll leave me hanging so they can all laugh at me. Hayden grew up in a very small town, and she was homeschooled her whole life, very strong Baptist upbringing, and said that when she came out as trans at 20, on her 20th birthday, she said it felt like, quote, it was me versus the whole town. And just the thought of that, and just the, I raised you better than this, the whole town, that just really, like, drove point of, like, the, wow, that's some real shit coming out right there. Fucking like, I don't know how much of this, I mean, obviously it's not all autobiographical because, you know, she's alive, but I wonder how much of this is actually drawn on real life experiences.
Sure.
And that, at very least, felt like it. But going into American Teenager, which, oh my fucking god, dude.
Yo, I couldn't believe. I wrote down 2 lyrics at 2 different points, and I was like, this was the same song, but it somehow fucking works. Like, at the beginning, she has the slide about, like, the neighbor's brother came home in a box, but he wanted to go, so maybe it was his fault. Another red heart taken by the American dream. It was like, holy fuck, whoa. But, like, by the time it gets to the hook, where it's like, say what you want, but say it like you mean it with your fist for once, a long cold war. Yeah, with your kids on the front, just give it one more day, then you're done. And then by the time it gets to the tail end, when she's like, I do it for my daddy and I do it for Dale, I'm doing what I want, and damn, I'm doing it well. I was like, that's right, have that faith in the American dream. Like, you took us to the depths of goddamn despair, and then somehow you brought us back up, like, by the end. I was like, I couldn't believe that just happened.
I mean, for a song specifically, like, I don't even know who this is being sung to. Say what you want, but say it like you mean it with your fist for once, a long cold war.
Yeah.
According to Genius, it was like, Ethel is used to confrontation in a physical, violent way. She's having an argument with somebody and saying, say it like you mean it, with your fist for once. Because to her, that's what, like, conviction means, and that's what it looks like, and that's what it feels like.
What the heck is this? Colonel Gathers and it's a Fincher Brothers reference, but motherfuckers fighting. But you're like superheroes when they're like fighting over their ideals and they're like talking about their ideals while they're punching each other. It's like, well, I believe in this, and the villain's like, well, I believe in this.
But the song is so fucking upbeat, and like, this is the most Springsteen-y ass Springsteen song, and oh my god. It makes it so sad, but I do it for my daddy and I do it for Dale, that reminded me so much of, she loves Elvis and her mama too. Like, painting the picture of this, like, all-American girl who just, I'm just a Southern gal. I love my daddy and I love Dale. Fucking Dale! Like, when you make it that specific, and like, that really brought a personalization to, when you're listening to the first time, it's like, fuck yeah, this song rips. This is such a fucking banger. When you've already heard the album and the song comes on, it's like, oh man, like, fuck. So, going into
a house in Nebraska.
The house in Nebraska. Talking about fucking Springsteen again. Now we're talking about Nebraska. She's talking about this ex-boyfriend and how they didn't work out, and this kind of feels like a Taylor Swift-y-ass kind of song too.
Sure.
But done.
It's the detail. It's the way you feel like as you're listening to it. I feel like I'm looking around and seeing the house where it's fucking happening. You know what I mean? Like,
this part right here. Your mama calls me sometimes to see if I'm doing well, and I lie to her and say that I'm doing fine, when really I'd kill myself to hold you one more time,
right?
And it hurts to miss you, but it's worse to know that I'm the reason you won't come home.
Oh, the knife twisting up. That's how you write country music, goddammit.
Oh, god damn it.
You can feel the wrenching as the knife twists more and more, with each lyric telling you more and more about the story.
So fucking hard, dude.
And here's the thing, she has this like southern lilt in her voice that comes out like country, but like, that's what I wrote down, Orville Peck open air type energy. Remember when we reviewed that album, and it's like, ooh, this feels so like big, like, sure, it's country, but it's like, it's using that shoegaze sort of like bigger, like, you know what I'm saying, sound underneath it to like kind of puff it up a little bit. And when she sings that, I feel so alone out here, like, you can see the fucking open night air, you know what I mean? Like, holy shit. I got that feeling.
And the way it's fucking comes to a hit and has that big ass guitar outro, so well deserved. Oh my god.
Fucking powerful.
Such an emotional release after this heart-wrenching song. It's the cathartic, also feel free to cry right now kind of moment. You know, I'm just like, here is where you cry. If you've been holding it in the whole song, right here is the time to do it. Then we get Western Nights.
Again, another track. The production just glides with her voice so nicely. It's just, ooh, I can't take it.
The neighbors beat on the walls while I'm face first in the bed. Show me how much I mean to you while I'm lying in these sheets undressed. Was such like a, oh my god. Like, I shouldn't be seeing this. Like,
y'all need to take 5. Yeah. Should I leave? I need to pause the song. I'm interrupting.
Now, here is kind of where the narrative of the album kind of confused me a little bit and kind of lost me. So, like, and again, not every album is going to be perfect, but, okay, so you broke up with this guy in House, Nebraska. You were talking about this house that y'all wanted to move into, and you think about that house that, you know, you wanted to grow up with that person in, and you never got the chance, and you still see it, and it brings back the memories of your ex-boyfriend, and that's horrible. Then Western Nights, I'm not sure if you're talking about the same guy, or if this is now a different guy, but anyway, it's kind of hopeful. Kinda? Because at least you seem kind of happy in this one.
It did feel like a companion piece to the first track where it's just like, I'm still feeling this way. That's what it felt like. Yeah.
But then we get Family Tree, the song itself. I'm not sure in which order the album is supposed to really be like, if all of this is happening at the end, or if we're watching this in its order of progression. I'll explain here in a second.
Okay.
But, like, the song starts with Ethel saying, "These crosses all over my body remind me of who I used to be. Give myself to him an offering. Let him make a woman out of me. I'm just a child, but I'm not above violence. My mama raised me better than that. When the preacher talks, the man demands his silence, and daddy said shoot first, then run and don't look back." If Ethel becomes a victim to this person who abducts her and kind of sees himself as a religious zealot kind of cult guy who then eats her body, the lines, "these crosses all over my body," that kind of made me, like, that made me visualize the already abducted Ethel, maybe with, like, crosses drawn or carved. I'm sorry. And the "give myself to him an offering."
Whoa.
Like, being a sacrifice.
The Eucharist, yeah.
That was like the... I mean, just there's so much dark imagery in this song, and for how deceptively hopeful the album gets here in a minute, this song itself is so fucking dark that I couldn't help but think it was already being written and delivered from that dark place from later on. Especially with, like, and I don't even know what she meant by this, and Genius really couldn't help with me either. "I've killed before and I'll kill again. Take that noose off, wrap it tight around my hand. They say heaven hath no fury like a woman scorned, and baby, hell don't scare me. I've been times before." Like, I just want to know what's happening right now. Like, where are we that you're this fucking dark, you know?
Yeah, who are you coming at with this? Or is this the other guy coming at you? Like, you know...
I wasn't sure about that. Then in Hard Times is when things kind of start to really come to a head in the first half. Because there's, like, fatherly references, and it doesn't sound like things were great, but you don't really get any kind of sense of what's happening, you know?
Yeah, you know what it is? But with this song, it feels like there's stuff is being left out on purpose, sort of deal.
On purpose, yeah.
Because it's explicitly because she says, like, "Tell me a story about how it ends where you're still the good guy. I'll make pretend because I hate this story where happiness ends and dies with you." Like, I thought the good guys get to be happy, and I'm not happy.
In the corner on my birthday, you watched me dancing right there in the grass.
Oh my god.
I was too young to notice that some types of love could be bad. praying I'd be like you, doing all the things that you do, and I still do.
Still do.
And that scares me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's a sort of like, oh, I know I'm not over this. Uh-oh. Like, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Feels bad. And you know what also feels bad? Thoroughfare feels bad. Because
So
Thoroughfare is the first time on the album where Ethel sounds genuinely happy. And it's such a fucking mean thing to do to the listener. Because it's like, wow, things really are seeming like they're looking up now. Things are onward and upward from here. And in reality, this is the first song of the second half of the album where it takes a nosedive real fast.
yeah, and now this is the track. This is the longest track on the album, right? And
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
it's one of those tracks where it's like, okay, so it is lengthy, and I had that feeling like, is this worth a whole 9 minutes? But then I was like, but I can't act like I was bored, though. You know what I mean? Like, I actually liked what it did, how it, like, changed up the energy and did some cool shit. So I was like, yeah, all right, you know what, whatever, it worked. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? When the song pulls you all the way through and you're like, no, because you actually did really give me, like, a journey here. But you just had a special breakdown part at the end. But it was like, you know what? I don't hate it. Like, it's like I never got to the this is too long skip point, you know, where it's like, oh, I basically got the idea of skip. You know what I mean? It was like, no, I want to feel these emotions playing out, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly why it's so important. So anyway, Thoroughfare starts, and she's talking about you were 12 years old when
Oh, yeah.
you set out to see the country. So she's talking about this guy that pulls up. Do you want to see the West with me? I'm going to California. And she's giving up on this small town life, on the family that hasn't been there for her, the community that hasn't been there for her, the boyfriend that left. It doesn't really seem like there's anything here. So, gonna give this a shot. Gonna see if this guy can give me the strength and the love that I so desperately need. And they set out, and she says, but in these motel rooms, I started to see you differently.
Yeah.
Because for the first time since I was a child, I could see a man who wasn't angry.
I was like, oh my god.
No. But there's one line in here that, when I said specifically, benefits from another listen through. Because you don't think of it being important until you've heard the whole story. Where she's talking about, we hit every diner from here to wherever. And then she goes, everyone in that diner saw our faces at least once. That really makes you think about, like, how many people could have stopped this. How many people saw with their own eyes a girl and the guy that murders her. And it didn't mean anything to them in the moment because they didn't know who the fuck they were.
Right.
But just pointing out, everybody saw our faces. Like, everybody could identify him if they knew what he did. But they don't. So it's like, it makes you so angry when you hear that, knowing the whole story. But when you hear it the first way through, it's like, yeah, okay. You know, we're in diners a lot. You know, like, it didn't mean anything.
Right.
So then we get this long, extended jam session where she's just, whoa, she's just feeling it. She is just going for it. And the fucking band, they're jamming.
It's like a chilled out little jam, you know? Like
Very chilled out. And after the last couple songs, you kind of want it. And it's like a nice little break. And you feel so happy that things really seem to be looking up, that you just wanna jam with Ethel for a while. Of like, hell yeah, girl, you needed this. You really, you know, I'm so happy that you fucking sought out this thing, and now you're finally able to relax, and you're out from this terrible city and the family that doesn't appreciate you, and hell yeah, you're living your own life, you know?
I just to specifically note, like, it does something with the musical time where it's like it's playing in the music and then it switches up to a different time signature, like through part of the original time signature somewhere in there, so that when that jam band happened, it really feels like you're like really guided along. So it's like really jumps into it. It's like, ooh, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really a fun time.
It was such a tasty fucking groove. But then the album decides to give you Gibson Girl.
Oh.
To quote Homestar Runner,
the good times are over.
I had that moment where I was like, when you have to quote the verses going into the hook and then into the verses again, that's when you got a fucking undeniable banger on your fucking heads. Holy shit. God damn. This is what I mean by, like, okay, you can say this is the Lana Del Rey, you know, really slowed down, epic, really punching in the, you know, what's happening in the production. But goddamn, the description is so intricate, which is like, black leather and dark glasses, pouring another while I shake my ass. He's cold-blooded, so it takes more time to bleed. Obsession with the money, addicted to the drugs. Say he's in love with my body, that's why he's fucking it up. And it's like the way she says it, though, that's why he's fucking it up.
yeah.
Like, it is like, there is no love and absolutely no lube in this room tonight. And then, oh my God, it's like, she's like, baby, if it feels good, then it can't be bad. But in this part right here, which is like, in a stranger's lap, and if you want it good, and then the pause. Downright iconic. Like, yo, wait a minute. Like, this is a classic right here. Something they all want that only you can have. You want to fuck me right now? I was like, God, no. I was backing up against the wall. I was like, oh, please, Ethel, please. Not in front of the children.
And again, man, like, I mean, there were already plenty of red flags in this song as is. Like, obviously you're being turned to drugs and,
right,
you know, hanging out with strangers you don't know. And it sounds like a really bad time. But maybe in a different context, maybe it wouldn't be as skeevy. But you can't help but, like, I don't know how old the character is supposed to be in the song either, which unfortunately doesn't
I'm just
help,
not thinking about it.
Like, I assume she's a teenager. I don't know if she's over 18 or not.
Yeah, we're gonna play it by high school movie rules where everyone's always just 18, you know, everyone's always senior year, you know?
At the very least, it feels like she's still being preyed upon by this person.
Yeah,
Even if she is of age, it still doesn't sound like a great scene.
Clearly taking advantage of emotional trauma.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Doesn't that get exactly to, like, how, you know, intricate the song is? Like, it's not that it doesn't feel sexy, but it's like, it really sounds dangerous. Like, it's not fucking cute, though.
No,
you know, like,
the music, the production on it is like, especially with the beginning with, like, this, like, black leather, like, it stutters a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not confident. It's shaky. It doesn't sound like it's on good foundation at all. Like, it's rough.
Yeah, okay. We got to talk about
Telemea, or...
Is that how you say it? Telemea?
According to a Reddit post, Telemea is how it's pronounced. It is inspired by the ninth circle of hell in Dante's Inferno.
Oh, track number 9. I get it.
Oh, shit. I didn't get that. So, this was the voice at the beginning that says, I followed you in, I was with you there, I invited you in, twice I did. You love blood too much, but not like I do. Not like I do. And you get this, it's all very muddled, and you can't really make out the lyrics too much.
Can I tell you my experience with this song?
Yes,
at first,
please do.
I did not like it, where it was like, what the fuck is this? You know, it sounds like it's so, like, doing a faux, like, club vibe with the guy doing the low, disaffected club music vocals. I heard you, saw you, felt you, gave you, need you, lived you, did. I was kind of like, what's going on? What's going on with this? What are they trying to do? And you hear like buzzing in the background, so like bees or something like that, and you're like, it was like, and I was having the visceral feeling of, this is making me feel uncomfortable. This feels like some creepster dude trying to like, go like, come on girl, don't you want me to feel you, da da da. And then as the song unfolds and you're like, oh, you're trying to make me feel that on purpose. You really are actually trying to put me in that mode right now. Because later on, you hear her say, because at first I was just like, I don't like, I was just thinking about it in terms of like, just being a song, I was like, this is whack. And like, who's this dipstick? Bring the chick back. You know what I mean? But then as it started going, and the idea is that here is the guy. This is the guy who's like, come on, baby, come on back. Oh, you poor thing, sweet morning lamb. Oh, there's nothing you can do. It's already been done. It's like, oh, fuck. Oh, no, I know. I get it now. Oh, no, and I wish I didn't get it. Because like now I like, it's one of those, oh shit, I'm looking through her eyes as I'm hearing the song, you know what I mean? I'm feeling the skeeviness.
I listened to this album at work once without listening too close. There's a lot of loud noise at work too, and I'm doing something, so I'm not really focusing too much on it. When Ethel builds up, kind of muttering stop,
oh
then
my god,
screams stop.
Oh,
I was at work and I was just like,
Stop!
what's this about?
yeah, right. I was like, oh.
I had that moment where I just kind of clicked and I was like, wait a second, what's happening? Like, hold on a minute. I thought we were all just having fun. I thought this was a, Well, anyway,
yeah. Indeed. Oh my god.
And then right after that, you get the I am the face of love's rage. Oh my god, dude. This voice you hear at the end, which is why I think
that's exactly what I was about to say.
Blessed be the daughters of Cain, bound to suffering eternal through the sins of their fathers committed long before their conception.
And it's like this creepy metallic.
Oh my god, yeah, the fucking noise is so overbearing, and like you can't even, like you can barely make out what's even being said because it's all so loud. Blessed be their whore mothers, tired and angry, waiting with bated breath in a ferry that will never move again. Blessed be the children, each and every one, to know their God through some senseless act of violence. Like, blessed be you, girl, promised to me by a man who can only feel hatred and contempt towards you. I am no good nor evil, simply I am, and I have to come to take what is mine. I was there in the dark when you spilled your first blood. I am here now. You can run from me still. Run then, child. You can't hide from me forever.
Fucking hell.
And you're just left like,
and now you left to think about that for the next two instrumental tracks.
Can you imagine if you just went from American Teenager to this?
Oh, Jesus fucking
Christ.
Okay, a little bit of pop, alright, yeah.
And then just this of just wow. It's like, how did we get here?
You see the face of evil staring you through the music, like those YouTube videos where they like make a face out of the music and shit,
Like you got from a house in Nebraska, just this sweet song about, boy, I do wish my boyfriend were here to this. And it's like, wow, we got here really quick, didn't we? Oh, man. So, the next track, August Underground, which is named after an exploitative horror movie.
And it's one of those things where, like, as soon as I looked up the details of it, it was just like, oh my god, this is so, like, late 90s,
no.
like, we're gonna put these VHS tapes out in the wild, and it's gonna be some sick, twisted shit, like, someone kidnaps a woman and cuts off her nipple, and but, you know, then 9/11 happened, and a whole bunch of, like, you know, pipe bombs or something like that was going off, and it was like, oh shit, maybe we should not do this.
So according to Genius, which, I mean, it's easy to picture after the last track that says, Ethel wastes away in the attic of an abandoned shack in the woods of Northern California. As Isaiah reveals his truest nature, she accepts her fate and faces the end. This, I would typically agree, without naming names, that 2 instrumental tracks back to back, I wouldn't really normally like that. It would feel a little weird.
I feel like they're different enough where it's like, you know, something is happening and then something else is clearly happening.
Thing.
Now,
that's the thing.
Yeah, now I do like the second track more because I feel like there is a bit more, like, I get what's happening in the August Underground track. It just, like, musically, it's not, like, pulling me as much. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, there's the one kind of big moment that happens where the music kind of goes, and it kind of, like, plays off of that for a while. But it's just, like, as just a listening experience, like, those other songs are visceral and, like, I enjoy listening to them all the way through. This is, like, I get what you're doing, but I'm just not enjoying, really, the listen experience of this as much as when I get to the next track, Televangelism, where it has that sort of, like, it's very piano, you know, piano-y, and is carrying this warm ambivalence at certain parts, so that by the time it gets to the end, when you hear the notes really bending, it really feels like there's some sort of facade that's like bending and melting away in some capacity. You know what I'm saying? So like, I get what they're going for, but yeah, I do feel like the second track has more like hit to what it's doing and is doing more overall in a way that I like enjoy more, you know?
August Underground is the soundtrack to horrible things, and televangelism is the place you go mentally to escape the reality of what's really happening.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
I get that from the musicality and how the televangelism sounds so like trying to be warm when you can feel the darkness underneath it, you know?
It's trying really hard. But then, yeah, like you said, when it's slowly, like, the notes just kind of start to fall apart, and you like, yeah, this isn't gonna last. This isn't good. So then we get sun-bleached flies, and sun-bleached flies sitting in the windowsill waiting for the day they escape. They talk about that money and how their babies are always changing while they're breathing in the poison of the paint. What I wouldn't give to be in the church this Sunday, listening to the choir so heartfelt and singing,
oh my God.
God loves you, but not enough to save you. So baby girl, good luck taking care of yourself.
And then it just rolls into the chorus where she's like, so I said fine, because that's how my daddy raised me. It's just like,
so I said fine, that's how my daddy raised me. If they strike once, then just hit them twice as hard. Which Genius made a really interesting point, that Ethel's dad is supposed to be a preacher, and the whole if you get struck, turn the other cheek mentality. But Ethel's father is just like, no, if you get hit, you turn around and you hit him twice as hard. Like, even he's, like, hypocritical in his own, like, preaching and stuff.
Oh, the good Southern Baptist, the good Southern Baptist way.
But in the end, if I bend under the weight that they gave me, then this heart would break and fall twice as far. Yikes. And
look. Can I tell you something? Like Fire Marshal, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When the saxophone comes through halfway through the track, I'm laying back like the fucking Maxell commercials. Oh, it's so breezy. I feel it. Like, I could feel myself being transported to the early 90s. And, you know, I could see the clock radio that's kind of like weak, you know, with the speakers. But, you know, it's like early 90s. I'm doing my homework and I can hear that. know what I'm saying? Those early 90s, like, bluesy sounding joints, you know, you'd always feel that shit, but always felt good. It always felt good when it hits you deep, you know what I mean? Like, something about that just hits so right and hits so deep that I was like, fuck, man, I don't care about all that shit that just happened. I'm throwing my hands in the air.
Yeah, so it's in the second verse. We all know how it goes. The more it hurts, the less it shows. But I still feel like they all know, and that's why I can never go back home. And I spend my life watching it go by from the sidelines. And God, I've tried, but I think it's time to put up a fight. And you're sitting there, and again, this album has ways, because it fucking ends. I'm still praying for that house in Nebraska.
Yeah.
By the highway on the edge of town. Dancing with the windows open. I can't let go when something is broken. It's all I know, and it's all I want now.
God damn.
And
God damn.
You're listening, and she's thinking about all these things, and especially the, like, it's time to fight back. And you're like, oh, maybe this is gonna turn out alright. Maybe she'll make it out of this. Then we get Strangers.
Oh no, do I have to look at the annotations for what the song is about right now?
I'm just gonna read it, if that's okay.
Okay.
In your basement, I grow cold, thinking back to what I was always told. Don't talk to strangers, or you might fall in love. Freezer bride, you're sweet divine. You devour like smoked bovine hide.
Oh.
How funny. I never considered myself tough. You're so handsome, walking over to me now. I tried to be good. Am I no good? Am I no good? With my memory restricted to a Polaroid in evidence, I just wanted to be yours. That's rough. But then it's...
Wait. But then
if I'm turning in your stomach and I'm making you sick, am I making you feel sick?
You just said I did not know what this was about before, and now... Oh, no.
When my mother sees me on the side of a milk carton in Winn-Dixie's dairy aisle, she'll cry and wait up for me. We'll make love in your attic all night. Euphoric in some strange delight. I'm happier here 'cause he told me I should be. You're so handsome when I'm all over your mouth.
Am I making you feel sick?
And since we're just going the whole thing, I might as well just read how this fucking ends too. Found you to tell you that I made it real far and that I never blamed you for loving me the way that you did. While you were torn apart, I would still wait for you there. Don't think about it too hard or you'll never sleep a wink at night again. Don't worry about me with these green eyes. Mama, just know that I love you and I'll see you when you get here. And it just ends on that. Just,
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
After, how long has it been, RC? 5 long years?
Half a decade left us hanging.
2018, RC. We were in the mid 160s in our album and our episode count when we last talked about Nicki Minaj and the super, super disappointing Queen. And now we're back. Have you missed the Queen in her absence?
I can't say so, honestly.
You know, I gotta say, I was a very, very big fan of Super Freaky Girl. I thought that was a great single. So I'm glad it's included
hot.
here. But
yeah, wasn't it like last year? I was having that moment. I was like, wait,
it's
okay.
been out for a minute, yeah. But that's okay, because apparently there's a song on here that was recorded back in 2017 that made the album, so we'll talk about that also.
this shit is all over the fucking place, man.
Oh boy, is it?
Like, it's not even that everything's bad. Like, some stuff is actually really good, but then it's like right next to trash, and you're just like, okay, what's going on here? Like, so let's just start with the first track, which is ambitious to say the least. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. I thought it was a very ambitious track.
We got Billie Eilish on the track doing her sort of glitch core modern, pop song thing.
I don't want to give them too much credit because this is just a sample of an already existing Billie song. It's not like Billie didn't record something specific for the album.
Yeah, there was that. So, like, I had to have that moment of like, oh, hey, this isn't Nicki, and oh, it's just this other song for a pretty big swath of it. And like, okay. And the thing about it is, it's so like glitchy with what's happening relative to what's going on with the rest of the song that it's like, okay, I want to appreciate the emotional, thing that you're going for here, but like, I just want to listen to like a song happening. I don't want this experiment. Like, just make the song a song and rap over it, man. Like, what are you doing?
I think Queen also opened with a very weird song choice.
Ganja Bird, that's what it was. Yeah, and it's like, okay.
And it also felt weird. Pacing on this album is weird as hell. Opening with Are You God Already? Very bizarre open because the first things you hear are a baby crying and Nicki talking a little bit, and then this high-pitched Billie Eilish sample chorus.
Fresh lemonade, freshly squeezed.
Billie.
Heart in a cup.
Billie, stop.
Can't get enough.
And then it fucking just becomes this gut punch of a song where Nicki is lamenting that her father passed away before he could meet her child, and how much like, oh, you would have loved him. And it's like, oh man, this is rough, dude. How are we gonna go from this to Barbie Dangerous?
Barbie Dangerous. I didn't understand what was happening. I was like, is it a Johnny Dangerous reference or a Bangkok Dangerous reference?
We go from, oh man, I really wish my dad could have met my son, to now this basically just kind of feels like a throwaway track from a mixtape. I don't know. Like, it was
what the hell
okay.
Sampling Notorious Thugs and like barely really doing anything with it, and it like what? And this is supposed to be the "Bitch I'm Back" song. Get ready for the album, and it's like, really, this one? Okay. And don't you say? Like, and that's what I was thinking too. Is like, what? You're not gonna call it Notorious Barbs? Like, what? All these things felt like they were like right there. She makes a big pun reference, which feels like okay, but. You know what sample this is? You know what I mean? It's like okay,
Calling a song Notorious Barb would be, I think, the one bridge too far. Because I was reminded, listening back to our Queen review, that she has done three songs.
You're right.
Takes on Notorious B.I.G. songs that it would be like, okay, I don't know if we could do all that. I think that's just...
like, if you want to make a tribute album, just do the tribute album and get that out of the way, because just littering your discography with the random best songs or whatever, it just feels weird, right? Like, just fucking do it already. Because, like, these songs, they're not departing enough away from the original, because it was the Dream song, too, right?
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
There was a couple we mentioned back in her, like, pre-signed days. I think she did a song that was...
Oh, well, that one was
Warning.
really good, though. Yeah, I liked that one. Well, now this is making me even more angry, because it's reminding me of when she did it really well, of like I'm actually genuinely flipping the lines. I'm like, this is like doing nothing with it, really. You know what I mean? Like, she kind of uses the hook. All this fucking got like one, something like that. But it's like, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And from there we go to FTCU, Fuck the Club Up. Now, RC, can I tell you my experience with this song real quick?
Go ahead.
So, the first time I listened to the song, I was at work. And just to pull the curtain back a little bit, as is often the case when I listen to albums at work, I end up liking them a lot more than I do when I actually sit down and pay my undivided attention to this album. Because, man, when I was at work and I texted you, hey, RC, we should review the Pink Friday 2 for the podcast, I was like, yo, the Queen is back. She
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I was buying the hype big time. I was like,
it's a shoo-in.
yeah, I was like, this shit, all the doubt I've had about Nicki, throw that shit out the window. I take it all back. And then I sat down and I gave it my 100% attention, and I'm walking that back a little bit. But when I first heard Fuck the Club Up, it has this sample for the chorus. And it's,
yeah, this really lo-fi kind of, we're just taking a clip from YouTube or something like that. Like,
yeah, and it's Waka Flocka Flame, I learned, right?
yeah.
He's saying, fuck this club up, fuck this club up. And then, when I tell you, and I didn't know what was being said, can I just sing to you how I
Please.
thought the song went?
I feel like there were a lot of moments on this album where she's like enunciating things not like fully enough and like to play with the language, but in a way where I was like, what is she saying? Is she repeating things, or is that something clever there? And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. Well,
in this case, it wasn't her. It was the sample itself that I didn't 100% understand.
Okay.
So what I heard was, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this without laughing. Because every time it happened, I was trying really hard not to laugh because I didn't want to, be laughing at myself at work and have people think things. So I was trying to hide it. But it seriously sounded to me like they were saying, fuck this club up, fuck this club up, faggot!
Jesus Christ!
Just the veracity of faggot! I was like, oh my god, no! I can't take it! I was like, I know that can't be it. That can't be right. And when I looked it up and I was like, oh no, they're saying Flocka, I was like, no, he's not. That does not sound like Flocka. Get the fuck out of here. And to make matters worse, Nicki actually ends a verse saying sissy.
For no reason, like, it's so unrelated to anything. Like, it's just like, what? Huh? Was she addressing someone that was effeminate before? Was that related to what was happening? Like, And
as I was reminded in the Queen review, she's done this before, actually.
Yeah, what specifically the word sissy?
Yeah, but it was a flip of a line she used on an older song when she actually did drop the F slur, which makes me wonder... Oh. Did Nicki originally put the F slur in this song and then have to rewrite it? And having the sample in the chorus was her way of getting it in there?
Oh no.
I wasn't even mad. I thought it was so fucking funny.
This song is just so, like, feels like it's gonna be hyper than it ends up really being to me, you know what I mean? Like, the second verse was cool, where she kind of like flips the flow a little bit, but it feels a little kind of like, it feels like zigging when it should be zagging on the energy of this type of track, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then when it gets to the end where it's like, give me my tings. Yeah, this is what it was for me, because I didn't quite know what she was saying. I was like, give me my tings. I thought she was saying, give me my tines or something. I was like, what? Tines? Does that mean something? Like, what? But no, she was saying, give me my tins. Give me my tins. Ooh, we're already at track 3, and these tracks are so incredible. You're already want to give me a 10 out of 10. Yep, don't wait till you get to this next track. You already give me that 10, buddy. Because off the strength of track 1, you're so along for the journey that you're not even thinking about how fucking mid these last 2 songs have been. And then, oh my God, we get to beep beep. What in the fuck is this? Like, dude, I've told you about times where recently when we listen to an album and it's like, you know, when you're going down Genius and there's a little ad break and you're like, oh God, there's another verse. God damn it. How long is this fucking song? This one, there would be like one ad break and I'd be like, what? Where's the song? Huh?
Yeah.
I'd scroll up twice just to be like, am I sure I'm not missing something? What the hell's wrong with the site?
I'm glad though that the song was so short because it's one of the worst on the album. If not the lowest rated, actually.
It doesn't do anything. Like, this feels like a song that's literally not finished yet. And then later on this album, there's a song that literally needs to end way sooner than it does. And it's like, what's going on here?
I want to read this out because this is some of the worst shit on the album. I'm not impressed. I said, yo, that D mad weak. Hit my N-words up, I got him robbed and that ass beat. Now that's so funny to me.
Yeah, that was kind of...
that she fucked the dude. The sex was so bad that she called up some people and they beat him up and robbed him.
You got these scoring points coming for that weak dick.
Now, that's kind of funny. I do like that.
Yeah.
Then it goes, I told him that he had the chance of a lifetime. Who wanna be a millionaire? I'm your lifeline. These bitches always checking me like a Nike sign, she said.
Yeah.
N-words always frontin' when they only did some light time. Beep, beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
Is that bleep? Is that you talking to me? It's that deep? If I don't even know you exist, is that beef?
Okay.
That was actually a pretty good line. And then she followed it up with, when N-words get their jaw broke, wait, is that teeth?
And it's like,
do you not know what a jaw is? Like the way you said, wait, is that teeth? And then you ended the album with it too, like you thought that was such a good line. Wait, is that teeth?
Yeah, and it's like, why is that the song? Why is that the song? What? Like... Is she this rap murder? Is that what she is? The horror core gonna fucking stomp your teeth out of your mouth?
Oh
like,
God, I forgot she did have the murder. Oh yeah, that didn't help.
Oh sure.
And this is the one we get the Fitty remix on it, and I haven't heard the extended version, and I don't know what Fitty has to say in his verse, but I doubt he saves it.
It'll feel like a song.
You gotta flesh it out. Yeah, you gotta make it an actual fucking complete song.
Okay, literally, I saw a liner note that said she plays a song titled "Murder." She clarifies the song will not be on her new album Pink Friday 2 and is scrapped and is a scrapped song from 2021 during her pregnancy. So it's like, what? But I'm listening to the album right now, so what the fuck?
So I'm listening to it right now. How are you telling me it's not a thing?
I didn't like hit the skip button and find like the secret track. Like, this is the track.
You have the physical CD and you went to the negative time space. So you're listening to Fred Durst and his friends breaking things before Break Stuff plays.
So yeah,
God, I miss that shit. Can we bring that back? Like, I know people don't really think about printing CDs anymore, and most people don't even. But can we just get those, like, hidden shit on the album that you don't get on Spotify? That's so cool.
That could be the value of it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Get the physical, yeah.
Speaking of which, I hate to go on a tirade real quick, and I don't want it to cause, like, a precedent of, like, Spotify fucking with original work and making it, you know, to bend their whim or whatever. But can we get songs... When an album has a bonus track on Spotify, can we separate it from the last song on the album?
Yeah, can we, like, do something to make that clear? Yeah.
So you're not... I was,
Disc 2.
I was listening to some punk albums, and 2 albums in a row had bonus tracks after 10 minutes of silence. And Spotify just left that whole 10 minutes of silence, so the last track ends up being like 15, 20 minutes. So you have to pull up your phone and fast forward and scrub through like you would on a CD until you finally hear it a little bit. Like,
to give you that genuine experience once more.
Oh, sure. Just put it as its own separate song. I don't need that. That shit's really annoying. But anyway, going from that to Fallen for You, which I thought was honestly another pretty weak cut, but it had a pretty decent beat. I thought that was fine.
I was like, there was one lyric where she's like, I let him kiss the real. He know my looks could kill. These bitches gotta shake their ass to show sex appeal. Unlike me, I've never had to do that. Am I right?
I never.
It's like, what? Yeah, it's like, what's happening right now? Don't gaslight me. Like, I've seen the Anaconda single. What are you talking about?
I have the YouTube links pulled up. I have all these tabs. Nikki, look how many tabs.
And not even for, this moment. I just had them. I happen to have them. But the point is...
Don't look at those tabs. Don't go too far over. Just look at the ones that are currently on the screen. That's all you need to see. Yeah, I thought that was kind of annoying. Then J. Cole is featured on Let Me Calm Down, which I thought was an okay cut, mainly for J. Cole's guest verse.
Of course, but you know what was funny? Like, Nicki Minaj's verse framed J. Cole's verse in such a, strange way, where it's like, because at first I remember coming in and I wasn't paying much attention, and I think I might have heard it on the radio and just kind of heard J. Cole's verse, and it's like, oh, it's the verse about the guy saying, man, if you want to get with this girl, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta have God on your side, you gotta be really willing to, commit to this chick, and so on and so forth. And I'm like, oh, that's him, showing us up to her. And then I go back and hear how Nicki's verse starts, and she's like, pull off, and I almost hit him. Like, whoa. Like, what? Like, this guy's over here like, hey, you just gotta let her go, man. Just had a hard day at work, And he's like, almost hit this fucking dumb asshole. And it's like, oh my God. Like, the energy just doesn't match in an awkward way.
Yeah.
It's like, ain't no more debating. This time it's an ultimatum. It's like, huh? Oh, what? Like, he doesn't seem like he's that bad. So why are you? And why does it seem like he's like, oh man, you just gotta give her some time to warm up to you, Like, it's just like, what's going on here? And that's what the thing is. The name of the song is "Let Me Calm Down."
Yeah.
So I was like,
just give me a minute. You're not letting me calm down.
It's like, oh, okay. Just gonna back away from the song slowly.
Then how about this weird grab bag of R&B featuring Tate Kobang on the chorus, and in theory, according to Spotify, also featuring Lil Wayne. I don't know if I believe that because of how quick he was in and out and how nothing he had to say. I'm glad to see he's still using that annoying lighter flick sound effect to signify his appearance on a song. Like, everybody shut up, here comes Wayne, I hear the lighter.
Oh, dude, I've heard the interviews. It's not a sound effect. He does it every time.
Oh, that's authenticity. That's what you've come to expect.
Yes, indeed.
I thought this track was okay. I highlighted the one line that stood out to me. When I ride his dick, the only time he getting flexed on. That was dope. I like that one.
Yeah. And what was that? What was the song where she said the dick was creamy or something like that? It's like there's certain moments where she says things and it's like the way the production sounds and the way it lets it really like breathe in the song. And you're just like, ooh, you're really making me think about that imagery there. So it's like there's a couple of moments like that aren't too bad, but it's like they don't come together for a full song. You know what I mean?
No, there's very few songs I think that really come together well.
Yeah, the hook is just kind of like happening. It's like he's just repeating words in a way that's just like, when you hear certain stuff repeat after a while, you're just kind of like, I don't care. It's like, she was cheap, beach, cheat. He had to cheat on her cheat. It's like, you know what I mean? It feels like, what? Are you just saying the same thing? Like
Pink Birthday, I thought was kind of just like a nothing interlude kind of track.
It was okay. It felt like this is the song about, with the very thin premise of things being pink that I've used.
For someone whose whole gimmick is pink, and you've had, this is Pink Friday too, this is the third fucking Pink Friday, and and then we got Pink Birthday. Pink doesn't mean shit anymore in relation to Nicki Minaj. She doesn't do nearly enough with it. She doesn't expound upon it enough for it to matter. Like,
No, look, dude, Charles Hamilton had better claim to the pink thing than she does. Like
is it even your brand anymore?
Yeah, like, it's the Barbie thing, which is, I guess it involves pink too, but, like, you know, it's not like she really does that hard too, right? Like, you know, it's not like, oh man, there's one song here where it's like, she's actually doing like, oh man, wouldn't that have been so dope if it's like, here's a song where it actually sounds like she's a Barbie and like pop her arm off and put on like an arm with a fucking, you know, $1 million like a watch or some shit. Oh. You know what I mean? Like, just having some fun with the concept of being a Barbie. Like, I feel like I remember her doing that 1 or 2 times early on, but now it's like, it's just a thing she says every now and then, you know? Like,
I hate that she did that fucking song for the Barbie movie, right? And you're even sampling Barbie Girl in it, and it's like, this is the planets aligning. We all knew this was gonna happen.
Right.
And then they don't really even do anything with it.
Yeah! Dude, all of these samples that I feel like on this album, as well as on that song, like, it just feels like it's the same thing of like did you know that the Barbie song was gonna be on here? You're like barely using it.
But then, yeah, Needle. What was Needle? Oh, it was the goddamn Drake song. Oh.
Yeah.
I liked the beat, I will say that. I always like the dance hall beats that really should have... If I didn't see that Drake was going to be on it as soon as I heard the beat, I should have known, oh, Drake's going to be on this fucking thing. He smells this shit. He fucking turns the corner and is like, dance hall? I can fucking do my shit on this again? Yeah.
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. Watch him do his thing.
Watch him do his ting.
Dude, oh god. And he starts off, just the way he starts his stupid fucking verse, and he does the same motif twice. If these diamonds in my ear can't weigh me down now, what makes you think you can weigh me down now? I was like, what? That's nothing.
My ears, they're so heavy. Have you seen how droopy my ears are these days, y'all?
Who can relate? Am I right? Like, what is it? Who is this song for? If these diamonds in my ear don't weigh me down, like who's singing along to this? Who's like, oh man, I've got diamonds in my for all the fucking Nigerian princes out there, like what the fuck?
To all the email scammers and now we get Cowgirl, which I think is the first song on the album that I ended up really liking.
Yes. And I was like, what is it? Well then what?
And I hate to admit it, because Cowgirl is one of 2 songs on the album that I really fucking like that are goddamn Dr. Luke produced tracks. And it's like, we're still working with this fucking creep, huh? After all this fucking time. God damn it. But yeah, Cowgirl's fun. I like it. I have this quoted, but I can't remember if I like it or not, so I'm gonna figure it out again as I read it. Excuse me, what I gotta do to show the bitches don't amuse me? Prada, Milan, Italy, yeah, that's what my shoes be. I'm gonna keep it real with you, so please do not accuse me. If you can't do it 3 times right, you're gonna lose me. Why did I quote that?
I mean, that was certainly okay.
It was fine. It wasn't really good or really bad. Why did I quote that? I literally don't remember why.
I think she was kind of flowing, you know? Like,
oh, sure. And I thought the chorus is really catchy. The Ride 'em Cowgirl is fun.
Dude, can I tell you something? I love the energy of this one and that icy like production on the hook and shit like that. Like, just wanna ride a cowgirl. Like, I forgot how it went, but you know what I mean? Like, you remember how that shit went though, right?
Ride a cowgirl. Yeah.
And I'm a ride a cowgirl.
It's
Wait,
so
let me fucking do that because that shit was. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit.
A song like that. Yeah, that little guitar in the background. Mm-hmm. Hey. This is one of those songs that earns the hey.
Yeah, you're getting hype. And dude, can I fucking tell you?
I'm trying to get to the fucking hook.
Yeah!
Yeah, there you go. That's what
Let's
I'm talking
fucking
about. That's what
go.
you do. That's called fucking pop music. This is what you do when you want people to get to that shit. I'm like, this is what's pissing me off. It's like, I'm not even saying you got to be the lyrical guy, which is weird. It's like she tries to get lyrical and going on here. But I'm like, man, could you give me the pop hooks? Can you work on the pop hooks and make sure those are really good? Because so far, this is the first track that I remember being like, hey, I remember what that hook sounds like. Like, this is track 10. Track 10. You know?
Can I tell you, though, how fucking excited I was? Because I had already heard the song once already on TikTok. It had already become a trending thing by that point. That when I was listening to the album and I was feeling Cowgirl really hard, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then, without any warning, don't stop the beat. I was like,
Don't stop indeed.
oh, fuck it. Don't stop the beat. Don't stop. Ah!
I'm melting.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
I'm literally time.
Everybody is so fucking good. I love that song so much.
What is this? And here's the thing. I have been suffering through Nicki Minaj sampling fucking like pop nostalgia bait songs for like the past entire herker. Remember with the fucking your boy Will I Am with the video killed the pop star. Remember they sampled that shit?
Dude, I fucking love that song too though.
Boo! Get that out of here! It's so stilted. It's so half finished.
Welcome to the party, like my name is Mr.
monotone. Go, get out of here. What other one did she did? Later on in this album, she like does one or two. But man, let me tell you something. When I heard this one, I'm like, that's what it was. The other Lil Uzi Vert one. The other Lil Uzi Vert collab that she did that was fucking embarrassing. The fucking like, what the hell are they? I don't remember how this song goes, so I'm just going to flow over the lyrics just however I want to and not really try to make it fit with the original words at all, so I am just gonna keep rapping. It's like, oh my god, who gives a shit?
What was that?
That was the fucking Lil Uzi Vert and Nicki Minaj collab that they did before this one.
I don't think I know that one.
Awful. It was goddamn atrocious, and it came out earlier this year. It was on Lil Uzi Vert's album that came out earlier this year.
Oh, okay.
And so when I heard this one, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I had that moment of, what is happening? Is the Molly kicking in? What's going on? Dude, when this fucking track starts, and at first, you know, it's so goofy and ridiculous. It's like it's one of those, this is what I always wanted Nicki to be, but I know she's not gonna fucking live up to it. And then it's like, wait a minute. Hold on, wait, she's gotta get into it. Okay, wait a minute. He goes, better kill everybody. These bitches fuck everybody. These everybody.
The junior senior sample made me so goddamn happy. Look, can I tell you? I follow someone on TikTok and they do dances and they rap some too.
Oh, you know. And
they had a video where her and two of her friends were dancing to this song, and I was like, oh my! And this is before I heard the album, and I was like, oh my god, this is fucking hot! I can't believe they're fucking sampling junior senior like this out of nowhere. And I was like, is this on the album? I thought it was a fan edit. Of some Nicki thing. So I was like, no way did Nicki release a fucking song sampling Junior Senior. And then I pulled it up on Spotify and it played the exact same. I was like, oh, fuck. Here we fucking go. We are back. We are fucking back. I was so excited. I was like, no fucking way is this real. Because who the fuck would do this? Who would sample this? I couldn't fucking... It's
so fucking bold.
It's vaguely obscure enough that, you know, I'm sure people don't know this song or don't know Junior Senior specifically.
It's not the offbeat,
It's a 20-year-old fucking electro song. Like, no one's singing this these days, but here it is. Right.
And, that's what it was. Like, the one thing I don't like, well, it's like, so half of the song is fucking incredible and goddamn glorious.
Uh-huh.
And then it gets to the part where it's like, where it just starts jittering it a little bit too much. And then she's in the background, she's like, target, neutralize, trigger, shoot, fire, blah, blah. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get to the fucking hook. Like, what was that? Like, it just felt like I was like, why are we here? What? Get back to the point. Like, you know?
I will admit and it's mainly because I like the original song a lot, that I was really getting, like, edged. Because
like, just drop the beat.
They never dropped the beat! I was like, oh my fucking god, what are you doing to me? You're killing me! When are they gonna get to the beat factory?
Exactly, yeah.
And it just never fucking dropped, and it was like, you're doing this intentionally, you're fucking teasing me, you're mean. Why would you do this? But then I like the energy Uzi brings on the back end, too.
Here's the thing, Uzi Vert is like fun enough hype-wise, but then it's like, as soon, like, and if he was just there for that couple of seconds, I would have been fine, but then he's like, no, I'm going back in, another verse of bullshit where I'm not really saying anything and it's really unfocused, you know what I mean? Where I'm just like, okay, like, can someone just get him, like, as, like, the hook guy or something? Like, Why does someone think that he has enough energy for a full verse? He never does, you know? It always feels like it's running out of steam at the end, you know?
Oh, yeah, like, I just thought it sounded good because he was flowing and just spitting like crazy, but, like, I wasn't paying attention to what the fuck he was saying because it didn't really sound like much of anything. But it just all sounded good and came together really well. Okay, so we got that 1-2 punch of Cowgirl. I forgot the sequence. So we got Cowgirl, then Everybody, then we get Big Differences, which was just the biggest slash my tires. We were doing so well. And it's not a super bad cut, but, and I say this every time, but I'm so fucking over these. This is the difference between me and them other I don't give a shit. Why are we still going over this?
And the thing is, the way she starts the song so, like, kills the energy for me. So it's like, you know, she starts with, like, I'm on another level. These bitches is out of their league. These bitches ain't better than me. These bitches ain't these bitches ain't battling me. These bitches ain't better than me. And it was like, it was one of those things where you can almost not hear what she's saying because it almost sounds like the same thing until you're like, oh, okay, I guess that's a little clever. Better than me, battling me, okay. And then she says, you bitches don't count and these bitches can't. I am not the 1, 2, or the 3. You bitches look up to me. You said you look up to her, but you really look up to me. And I was like, that's not that clever. Like, and I felt like people were trying to push this as like the Instagram caption line, and it was just like, that's nothing. You said you looked up to her, but actually you look up to me. It's like, oh, okay, like, you know.
And this is the fucking song that she teased at the VMAs. One of two.
Yeah.
And at that show, I was watching her and I was like, we're really going down this road again. And with Queen, as we talked about, the whole album was a subtweet at Cardi. Like,
right.
And I don't know what the deal is now. Like, if she's still mad at anyone in particular, like Doja or Megan or what's going on. But can I just say, listening to this album and really paying attention, she has kind of become like Eminem. In the way that last time we fucking talked about Eminem on that Southpaw album or whatever, he's just like, hey everybody, I'm still the king. It's like, yeah, okay.
We know, you know.
It's fine.
You know.
But, like, Nicki is doing this shit that, like, it's honestly not what's poppin' anymore. Like, it's, like, rap has honestly moved past her style. So for her to still be doing this, I'm the queen, everybody looks up to me, just because people that are big right now were inspired by you, doesn't mean that every time someone compliments someone who is inspired by you, they have to turn around and go, oh, well, I could only take it so far. I wouldn't be anywhere. Like, do you really think that, like, you deserve all the fucking credit for everything? Like, that's not how it fucking works. Like, you had your style and your personality. Other people were inspired by it. Maybe they bit a little bit, and then they made it their own thing. And
Kind of
listen,
like how you came up with, no one in particular, no rapper, female rapper before you in particular, Nicki, I'm sure. all whole cloth, your style.
RC, there weren't any. She was the first one. I don't think you remember this. But, the misconception, TLC, Salt and Pepper, no. Nicki predates all that. JJ Fad,
It was
she
all an
came
illusion.
before all of that.
Oh, an alternate universe.
Yes, of course. So I'm very sick of that. I don't want to hear it anymore. There was actually a pretty fun poppy verse on this song later. But
Oh, yeah, when she does that sort of thing, where I thought she was saying, I got that Draco for whoever rolls up on me. She was saying on me. I thought she was saying sort of like a, I mean, and then I'm going to the next line,
Oh, yeah.
Because she was like, I call my boyfriend, then you're getting beat up, I mean. Hey, yo, what's the teacup, I mean? Like, I thought she was doing like a sort of just going to the next thing. But it apparently wasn't that, but...
And I liked that, but I'm not sticking around through these bitches look up to me bullshit, because I'm so fucking tired of it.
Right. Then we get Ruby Red to Sleaze. And it's
Red
like,
Ruby to Sleaze.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was this supposed to be the new personality? Let me not get it confused.
Is it?
Oh, AR the Rugged Man, or is it RA the Rugged Man?
AR the Rugged Man. He works at the label. Hey, this is my AR, the Rugged Man. Look at his bright suits and his big hats.
More like AR the Clean Man, am I right?
Oh, he cleans up well. AR the Dapper Man. Anyway,
but yeah, is this the fucking Kung Fu Kenny that everyone's gonna be, quoting? Like, what is this? Red Ruby?
She already did the Chun-Li bullshit that flopped. Fucking fell on his face.
She pulls it out here, and it's like, these personalities aren't strong enough for it to matter.
No, nobody's gonna be calling you Red Ruby to Sleaze. I didn't even realize that was like...
Miss Red Ruby, Miss Sleaze.
Over here, Miss Sleaze. A quick word, Miss Sleaze. But one thing I did want to quote, or point out here, because I think we talked about it, because I think I might have heard this before the album dropped too, because I remembered this line. And I'm gonna read it as is first, okay? Where Nicki says, "But I don't fuck with horses since Christopher Reeves."
And then long pause for audience clap, I guess.
And instead, in that moment, I'm turning my eye to Miss Sleaze to say, "It's Reeve. It's not Reeves." People have been saying this for years. Eminem, I think, was like,
roll up on you like Christopher Reeves.
It's Reeve. There is no S. Why are we still saying Reeves?
But it's like, didn't Eminem already run this joke into the ground 20 years ago? Why are we still referencing Christopher? Like, this is worse than referencing Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. Like, this is like, come on, guys.
I put the Superman magnet next to Darth Vader. Oh, shit.
Fucking give it a rest. Isn't the man dead at this point?
Oh, long dead.
It's like, no one's going like, oh, snap, she got Christopher Reeve. Get it, he was Superman, but he can't walk anymore. Like, why are we referencing this still? And then on this song, Red Ruby to Sleep, dude, can I tell you, this the music is so awkwardly slower than you'd expect it to be. Like, it's just like, what's happening? You feel that, right? Where it's like, uh-oh, uh-oh. And it's like, what's happening? Speed up. What? Wait, I thought we were on TikTok with the sped up versions of shit. Why are you specifically slowing it down? And it does not help at all, because it's like at the tail end of the hook, I kind of feel like it's kind of fills up a little bit. But for most of the track, it just kind of feels like, why is this sample here? What is happening with this? You know what I mean?
That comes up again later, where I was kind of asking myself, I was scratching my head, but I actually really liked Red Ruby to Sleeves, Red Ruby with sleeves. It's one of my highest rated cuts on the album, honestly.
Like, for me, it felt like this track should have been half of its length. It should have been a, oh snap, she's sampling that song. You know what that beat is? Uh-oh, and she's going to hit a quick, 24 bars,
right.
and then we get out. Yeah, that's what that feels like. But for this to be a full, like, at over 3 minutes, I remember feeling like, this feels like it's kind of wearing out its welcome. In a way that it was the literal opposite of that I'll Step on Your Jaw or whatever the fuck song was, where it was just like, oh, is that all you had for that one? You really felt that was done?
How about...
Ready for fucking launch? Really? Okay,
I quoted this because I wasn't sure how to feel about it. And I'm pretty sure because she delivered it too of like I fucking ate with this, pardon the pun here, but Dorito bitches mad that they nachos.
Oh God.
Not a fan of that one?
That's one of those so whack that it goes over your head because it's like, there's no way there's no way she was going for something with that one. Come on, no way.
They not chose. Or see, you must have not got it. That's the problem.
Oh, man. Oh, buddy. Oh, moving right the fuck along.
Then we get Forward from Trini. I liked the beat, and that's about it.
I like the guest rapper kind of coming in and be like, really intricate sounding, like...
I figured you would. You're all about the fucking...
Well, of course,
Yeah.
Shabbat, But, like, the thing about it is, it just didn't come together as a track, because I was listening, and I was like, is that Zydeco in the background? Like, what was happening with that? Like, halfway through, you were hearing this little... Sounds like that fucking, like, music in a early 2000s SpongeBob video game or something like that. It's like... I was like, what is going on?
I don't mean to put you on Front Street here, but it sounded like you said Sponge Rob. I thought that was very funny to think of, this is the new character, Sponge Rob. Like it's Rob Zombie in SpongeBob or something.
Oh, sure, he's going to have dreads, and it's going to be one of those AI rap things where it's like, SpongeBob's cousin came into town. I'm about to empty these clips. Yeah, sure.
Yep, exactly. But then, RC. Oof, another 1-2 punch if I dare say so. Oh no!
Oh no, enjoy your song, it's fine.
I really liked Pink Friday Girls with the Cyndi Lauper sample, RC. I can't help it.
I'm sitting over here as the guy who look, it's my girl, all right? That's my girl, okay? And I'm fine with someone sampling.
We all love Cyndi. She's a national treasure.
Right. But here's the thing. She does fucking nothing with it. It might as well not be there. Like, and here's the thing. It's even worse than the other songs where you, like, hear a sample in the background. They let that samples actually play as if they're, like, gonna do something with it. Like, oh, girls is what, oh, daddy dear, you're still number one. Are we gonna do something with this? No, it's just generic raps about how, bitch, I'm gonna kill you and I'm about to ride this dude's dick. It's like, she's not even, like, directly tying it in. Like, what the fuck I mean? We're going like, hey, we're about to have some fun on this motherfucking like just something. It just felt like it was like the sample could have just not have even, like, I felt disrespected by the sample being like, I'm fine with this. Like, when I heard it, I was like, oh, okay, cool, let's go, let's see where you go. Pink Friday Girls, is this gonna be like the anthem for the girls going out on the town? Not really, just generic fucking raps. Could tell he the one because they hated on him. Used to be a high roller, but I skated on him. When he went away, then they waited on him. Come back, then I got a Rex rated on him. And it's like, this is the first couple of lines in a song about the girls trying to have fun. What about this dude? And what? And then by the second verse, it's like easy little hoe, don't know my MO. If I'm with your nigga, just let him go. Can't sit in my seat, can't sit in my row. He been said that I'm yes. He been said that She's already done that fucking line, the I look like yes and you look like no. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the lines, you get what I mean. But it's like this could have been this verse could have been on another song, and you wouldn't have been like, what? No, not the girls just want to have fun sample. You got to put that verse on that. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like there's nothing going on here that actually really plays with it. And then what's that one line where she says like, guys, I can't just say bye. Suddenly spoke Thai. He's samurai fly. What is up with Nicki Minaj referencing guys who speak Thai but are samurais? Like, does she think that samurais are from Thailand? What's going on?
Look, RC. And I had to break out the look because it's the fucking beat. The beat flip under and the energy over the like it's sped up the tiniest bit, so it's like it's like
I
the
wish
fucking
I
beat
could
is
say I
so
love it.
goddamn good and so fucking fun. I didn't give a fuck, and she was flowing. RC, I couldn't care less what she was saying. It all sounded good to me in my naive ears. The only thing I thought was kind of and I kind of wish would have been different, is when Nicki sings the chorus from Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I really wish you would have changed the words.
Something was happening there, yeah.
Like, you could sing it to the same melody or whatever, but I don't know, sing about you. Like, make it, sing a different song there. But still,
because she's literally saying "Daddy Dear." Yeah, like that's a pretty specific line that's related to what's happening in the original song about like, oh, I'm staying out late at night, you know, like.
It's like you already sampled Cindy saying it. You don't need to say it. Also, you could say something different.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. That is true, but it still doesn't change the fact that I fucking love that song.
I mean, look, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it, you know. But...
And same goes for Super Freaky Girl. I love that goddamn song so much. This is the one that really made me start, like, it got me excited for the album. I was actually very interested to see what the rest of the album was going to be like, because these songs, if you haven't noticed yet, Nicki's poppier, upbeat songs are far and away super bass. Fucking Starships. Pound the Alarm.
Yeah, there's one that she did that wasn't like her, but she was like, you know, featured, something like that. Oh, it was the sort of like, be my woman, girl, I'll be your man. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah. That one's good.
That was fucking explosive.
Va Va Voom. That's a good one. I know you're going to disagree, but Anaconda's a good one.
It does its thing. It does its thing.
It sure does. And, even, what the fuck is that song? That, why can I never remember what the song is called? Because I don't think she says it.
I have another track, but, oh, what song?
The, take your medication, Roman. No, your station's Roman. You'll be okay.
Look, I like that song. Wait, I like that song just because it was the seed of the potential of like I wish, man. I so wish that this was like the 18th song of her doing Pinky in the Brain back and forth, where she does a Maurice LaMarche voice and a fucking brain. Like, I fucking wish. But we didn't go that route for some reason. We just did a bunch of generic, I'm the best, and I don't ever need to prove it beyond just making a bunch of generic songs about how I'm the best. How about a, like, story concept song? How about really trying to make sure all of the punchlines hit so that we're not doing this fucking a couple of good shit followed with a couple of bunch of fucking bullshit nonsense filler shit? Like, how about we do some quality control? You know? Like, 22 tracks on this goddamn album. No fucking way. No fucking way. You had all the heart and all the love that you were ready for. Pink Friday 2, we gotta make sure that this is the fucking only built for Cuban Links 2 of the barbs. Oh yeah, we gotta fucking make sure all the tracks are really good. Fucking no, this is not the first 4 tracks, man. When you hear just how disjunct those are,
yeah,
the alarm bells are already like, what's going on?
Yeah, this is a mess. And again, this is why she is like Eminem. Eminem started. I mean, the parallels are too big to ignore, honestly.
Referencing Christopher Reeve for some reason.
You got Christopher Reeve, you got, you know, Eminem is like, I'm the king, Nicki's, I'm the queen. And the whole, like, dual personality shit with Shady and Roman. And they even kind of crossed paths a little bit and did that whole thing.
Yeah, but like, what is the difference between Nicki Minaj and these personalities? Like, did you hear one song and you were like, oh wait, you couldn't have said that was Nicki, that was Ruby Red the Sleaze, because she says the things that Nicki would never say, like what is different? Like, you know?
Yeah, because there were songs where it was like, oh no, this is from Roman's point of view. It's like, I literally can't tell the difference. But what I'm talking about is, do you remember the Moment for Life music video?
Oh, yeah.
And do you remember the beginning where it's just like,
It's Martha. You are crazy, godmother. I love you. Bitch.
And remember, it's Martha. What's happening?
where did that go? Where did that go? I missed that. I missed that.
I miss the chick that appeared at the beginning of the Kanye West song, the beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy, where she's like randomly British. It's like, twisted fiction, sick addiction, listen, children, zip and listen. Where it's like, I guess the girl from that music video just came for these one or two tracks on this other album for some reason. Yeah, like, what? I don't understand why she feels like, oh, they don't want that too much. Oh, they don't want that too much. Maybe once an album or so. Like, what is going on?
That's why, like... And I'm sorry, I need to look up what that fucking song is called, because I feel bad that I'm talking it up so much. Oh, I think it was just called Roman Holiday. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you need a Roman holiday. A Roman holiday. Yeah, there's that one part, and it makes me laugh every fucking time, where she goes...
Who the fuck is this bitch? Who the fuck is that hoe?
But she starts like...
She's a mad woman.
That's why I love the fucking ending of Anaconda, where she's just, fuck these skinny bitches! Help in the club, fuck you! Ah!
When the beat kicks in for Nicki, that's when it's fun.
She's just... when I can hear how much fun she's having, it's like, okay, yeah, let's go. When she puts a little bit of personality into it, but so much of it has become generic shit, you're right.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so run-of-the-mill now. Like, I don't even remember what Bam Bam was. I remember liking it, but I don't remember anything about it.
It samples, the song that you'd think it would sample through sampling the bomb, again, it's like these sample after samples that are just like the most obvious. And can I tell you, like, listening through, the second time trying to, like, really listen to it again, I fucking tapped out, man. I tapped out at a fucking Trini, whatever the fuck that will forward from Trini. But then I had that moment where I was like, wait, how did that next song sound again? And then I was like, oh, that was that song. Yeah, this wasn't worth getting to. And then Super Freaky Girls, which isn't worth really getting to. And then Bomb Bomb, which I know isn't worth listening to. And then I'm like, I can't remember how My Life goes. And I know Nicki Hendrix is just fucking auto-tuned sludge nonsense. Like... Who gives in Blessings is the 20 tracks too late song about, oh, I'm spiritual, even though I just made 20 tracks about how I'm killing bitches and doing all that shit, like...
Just to backtrack a second, because, Blessings is its own thing. My Life, for my money, is the one song where the sample really didn't work.
What sample was it?
The Blondie Heart of Glass...
Oh my God! Jesus Christ! I remember now. And it felt like it was like sliding off of the beat a little bit, like intentionally as a thing. But
it sounded so awkward.
Yeah, it was one of those like they didn't really do enough with it to make it worth what they were doing with it.
No, not at all.
I thought that they were going to sample the part, soon found out was a pain in the ass. Like, I thought they were going to, like, play with that, and they just didn't. And so it's one of those, well, come on. Haven't you heard the song? Wouldn't you want to? If you're going to... Look, these guys are paying a lot for these samples. If you're going to fucking use it, make it the everybody thing, Like, what's going on? Give the beat to that guy. Who's that guy? Who's that producer? We've got to get to that guy. We've got to listen to that guy's albums, his TikTok compilation songs, because that is way more entertaining than anything that's going on the rest of this fucking album, man.
Then Nicki Hendrix. This is the thing, according to Genius, the song was recorded between 2017 and 2018 and was originally meant for her fourth studio album, Queen, but was later scrapped. Yeah.
Oh,
I believe that.
Yeah, for that.
It was
for that other
when
song.
A song was so bad that it didn't make the cut for Queen?
Well, don't you remember the other song that was on Queen that was just as good? I'm sure. I want
Yes,
a condo,
sir.
$100, sir. Yeah, get this, sir. Get that, sir. Like what?
Nicki-
Gotta make songs like fucking what's her name's sidekick in the I keep wanting to say fucking Rugrats. The Peanuts.
Oh, you're talking about
What's her
Peanuts?
name?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. You
no.
fucking Peppermint Patty ass.
Peppermint Patty, that was her name. It's so funny. It's one of those names where it's so obvious where you're like, it can't be that, can it?
And it's
What
like,
was that girl's name that hung out with her? Marcy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, their song on that album was the worst. And then it's like, oh good, now they're back for a sequel where the song together is also the worst on this one. Cool. Nicki and
fucking
Future as a
nothing.
combo is undefeated at just like being just skippable garbage. But then, Blessings, yeah. You got a featured singer here, and I wanted to quote this because, you know, and if this is someone's, you know, shit, I get it. You know, if you like your religious shit and you like some you know, religion in your pop stuff, I get that. That's
Sure.
fine. But the way this was written and sang got such a big eye roll for me. When I'm walking through the valley, I will not fear. I will never be convinced that he is not there. Be courageous. He never changes. There's a Father who is present, and he's seen, and he sees us. Make no mistake about it. His name is Jesus. Jesus. It like repeats Jesus. It's just like, it's a thing we talk about. And by the way, if you didn't know, the song's about Chicago. Oh, the song's about Jesus. Oh,
In case you didn't hear.
in case you didn't realize.
Oh, man.
Then we honestly just get back to back mid between Last Time I Saw You, which I think was the other song she did at the VMAs. It was supposed to be like the touching, heartfelt one. And Just the Memories, which has this one part. It's a good bookend with the opening track, which is also heartfelt. This one, you know, it's, you know, it's all very retrospective. And it has these lines that I don't think are really... They're not showcased as much as I think they should be. Because they just kind of come out of nowhere, and they're not really treated with the gravitas as I think they should have been. I remember one of my first crushes in the 5th grade. He got killed, stabbed in the neck with a switchblade.
Oh, my God.
I remember this girl in the hood thought she caught me slipping. I got arrested. I assaulted with a deadly weapon. Like, and we're just gonna skip over that like it's nothing.
I was like, that was so much. And it's like, what is this, track 22? Like, this is the first bit of heart I've gotten from her at all. And it so feels like, let me say this thing. It feels like one of those, like, well, I gotta say something. Let me just spill this really important thing that's actually really traumatic. And I have no idea where I was gonna go with that. I just had to get that off my chest. Well,
I'm gonna
anyway,
drop
don't ask
some-
me about it. Fuck you. Let's get on to the song.
I'm gonna drop some super interesting Nicki lore, and then I'm just gonna keep on walking. Like, I'm not even
It's
gonna
like,
acknowledge it.
Oh my God. Your first love was like stabbed in the like Jesus
Look,
Christ, that's a whole song. Like
I was gonna say, if my first crush got stabbed in the neck, that gets a whole song. That does not get a mention. There's a whole song about that.
dude, that's a whole fucking Ethel Cain album. What are you talking about?
Right? Are you kidding me? But then, but in this case, it was just like, yeah, I mean, that happened. Like, yeah, my life was kind of fucked, guys. Don't talk about it a lot, but, yeah, I thought y'all should know. I've seen some shit. I know some shit. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Cool? What do you want me to say to that?
Yeah, it's just so, and then like the hook is like, memories don't leave like people do. And it's so just like, oh, damn, okay, all right, yo, this shit. That's heavy. And then it's like, you know, okay lines like, I told Drake that he don't owe me nothing, never did. I pray that Wayne always remembered. Yeah, look at all the shit that y'all done threw me, and I never did. Greatest female rapper to ever live, and that's on my kid. Yeah, super lyrical still, but not that lyrical, but you know.
Yeah, you know. It is what it is.
that's what it is. It feels like it's an emotional moment where she goes like, hold on, Juice, I feel the baby kicking, holy smokes. Like, that's the sort of like, oh, did you guys know I had a kid? I'm revealing that now. You know what I mean? But actually, didn't she do that at the tour? The compilation of the songs at the award show. Isn't that where she revealed that or something?
Oh, I honestly don't know. When I first heard the first cut on the album, it was talking about, I hate that my dad didn't get to meet my son. I was seriously sitting there like, you had a kid? When the fuck did that happen?
It was like,
I completely forgot.
Yeah, and then when she says like Papa, like apparently she's referring to her kid, and I was like, well, how was I supposed to get that? 'Cause, like,
yeah, shit was weird. Like, Just the Memories is a good song, and I think I probably would have liked it better if it wasn't track 22, because I was so over the album by this point.
Yeah.
That, like, I was just worn out. And ultimately, I ended up with a 3.
Honestly, a generous 3 from me as well. Yeah.
Ooh, wow, same page. There we go.
Just
Last time I gave the Queen album, like, I think I gave it like a 2.5, and you gave it like a 1.5. Like,
cold-blooded.
we were really harsh on that one. But hey, look, we're improving, and we're on the same page this time, so check that out.
Here's the thing. It's like there are genuine hits in here. Like if the Fuck the Club Up was cleaned up, that could have been a real like unmitigated banger. But the fucking what are the tracks? It takes a while to get to them. Cowgirl and Everybody. That could have carried a whole album, honestly.
Right?
But like it fucking doesn't because there's 22 tracks. Like, if you would have cut this down to like 10, then it's like, okay, it's not great, but it's tolerable, and because, 2 tracks are really good and that takes up like a fifth of the whole album, you know what I'm saying? I'm having a better listening experience. But like, that's like an island in the middle of this album.
Well, folks, that about wraps it up for this week's episode of Going Off. Thank you very much for spending your time with us on checking out our show. If there's an album that you would like to hear us talk about on a future episode, like the Ethel Cain album, or, maybe not exactly like the Ethel Cain album, but, an album that you like.
Please stop making us cry.
Please stop. Head on over to our Ko-fi. It's ko-fi.com/goinoff, GOINOFF. Your one-time donation gets you an album to be reviewed on a future show. Make sure to scroll down to the description because we got all our links down there. Also, our YouTubes, our Patrons, our Twitches, our Twitters, TikToks, Throne wish list is on there for me.
Ko-fi.com/rapcritic and patreon.com/rapcritic. Those are my 2 things. If you want to support me, the Ko-fi's the one time for song reviews and specific like movie reviews. And if you want to do like new albums that are coming out specifically, because we do it over here at our fucking leisure because we don't give a fuck. But this is how we do things. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. What have you? I like to do them in between when it's like a off week, but we're like, shit, there's not enough time to catch that album, so fuck it, I'm just doing it on that podcast now. It's like we're catching it now, we're catching everything. So as well as movie reviews and live stream requests, get with it, act like you want it for requesting albums, or someone requested a compilation of songs. I guess you can do that now. Whatever.
I guess people are just doing that now. I guess that's
okay. So yeah, I mean, hey, whatever bang for your buck. Look, if you want to request 4 songs and that be your playlist request, but you could request, actually get bang for your buck, nothing over 2 hours. Come on, let's not be crazy. But yeah, get with it, act like you want it, as well as patreon.com/rapcritic, where all the stuff that I do is going up there early. Music, hanging out with the fans, having ourselves a party. All right, remember that reference? Anyways, let's get the fuck up out of here.
All right, folks. We will catch you next time after the holidays, maybe in the new year. Is that what we're going to end up doing?
Yeah, most definitely.
I guess that makes the most sense. All right. We'll see y'all in 2024. And until then, for Going Off, I'm Muse.
And I'm the Rap Critic. And the only girl that could ever depress me was the daughter of a preacher man. Yes, she was. She was.
Yeah.
And got to suppress the urge to hit the stop button.
I
going back.
almost did too. Thank you for saying that. Now, folks, it's the beginning of the episode. I forgot. God damn it. I almost had second album.
And now let's start with this one. Am I right?